Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, as one who professes to speak for the power of love, one who professes to speak for the power that is responsible for all existence, that which is good, and not for that which destroys it or tears it down, which is away from that which is good. In other words, it's like man turning against God. It's like the child that turns against the parent. And so what we find ourselves experiencing today, ladies and gentlemen, is just the results of all of the stuff that's going on. You see, we're talking about politics. We're talking about those who are trying to take us further down the hole. You're talking about the senators and those white people in power who are trying to keep people of color, enslave them. They're talking about Jim Crow. That's not Jim Crow. They're trying to keep them enslaved. And you got black people who are trying to negotiate with white people. And you got white people in your corner, you're trying to get them to negotiate for you, as if any of this is going to work. The best that you can get out of the situations that you have set up today, ladies and gentlemen, is a worse scenario where everybody just goes and people like Trump, if not Trump, takes over the country, start whipping heads like they decide. Or whether you stay on this same track where pain and suffering continues, but it will only be for a short while. People are so busy beating each other up until they're not noticing what nature is doing. Somewhere it is being said that this is a red alert. Man is going to destroy themselves unless something else destroys it first. Somewhere in the biblical scriptures, it is said that water destroyed the earth and its people before, and that the next time would be fire. And there's no doubt in America and other places around the world, fire is really doing its damage, wiping out not only a forest but towns. And the water is playing its part too. It's sucking itself out of the earth, and the earth is cracking up. And then it appears as if the water goes back in the water supply, and it causes all kinds of stuff. It leans over and pours the water all into the neighborhoods and wipe them out. So what it appears to be happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that hate is creating destruction for humankind. Nature, on the other hand, responding to the situations that mankind have produced, is doing hazardous stuff to humankind. And it appears as if there is only one hope, and that is if man wakes up. See, if man wake up and recognize God as the source of life and the source of right, and that if God is prepared that all people should have their needs, their wants, and their desires met by supplying the earth with all that is required of it, and humankind with all that is required with the excess, and the ability to apply itself and bring forth all of that which man needs, wants, and desires, which will maintain in peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and the fulfillment of dreams, where people are just living life, and every day is a new life, instead of dying every day from sicknesses and diseases that would not exist where people were expressing the love of God. No lying, no cheating, no stealing, no killing, no terror, no hatred, no racism, no bigotry. All of these things exist because of men who walk away from God and walk away from God's will. Whatever their reason is, you could be following Satan, following the devil, following evil, or following yourself. It is all empowered to create the hell and maintain the hell for which we live. But I want you to know that the truth has never took a break. It's still existing. But I try to be kind to you as I speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I like to think that I'm really a kind person. But I speak to you because of this. Let me tell you why I speak to you in heart. When I accept my charge, I told God that I'd be sincere and I'd be honest with the message and with you. And that even though all my life I wanted to enjoy the most monumental, the most magnificent things that life has to offer, I've always wanted that. It didn't stop when I took my charge. But what I said is that I would not accept it. I would not accept it until the people out here in America who you wouldn't ever expect to have their dreams met, until they can have their dreams met. When they can have their dreams met, then and only then will I accept having my dreams met. Now that's been some 40-some years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I'm so far from having my dreams met, it's absolutely pathetic. Now, there was a time I was going to commit my total life to God and the whole work of it. And that's what I've been doing, volunteering. Nobody pays me. I volunteer. My wife, this is not her ministry, sorry to say. She's more in the line of what the old church teaches. And the old church has allowed all of the stuff that exists today to continue to exist. In fact, many of them on the right have joined along with evil and calling it from God. You know, all of these extremes exist. But she has looked out for herself and her kids, and because she took an oath with me and her commitment to the oath, when they eat, I cook, I eat, and so on and so forth. Some people might call me Mr. Mom, but I don't mind, because every day, all night, I commit myself to serving God and exposing the lie that you are living, to reveal the truth that you are being denied. And I've been doing this for over 40 years. I think in '84, that was the first time I ran for president of the United States, I championed the same message that I championed a few minutes ago. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on social media at least 10 years. I got 2 channels on Facebook or YouTube. And out of 10 years and all of the love that I speak of, I got 70 subscribers. That's 70 individuals. And I'm sure they don't listen to me all the time. They're just there. 70. 10 years of speaking truth that will free you. And I think about how that liar came around. Yes, I'm calling him a liar. That's what he is, a liar, a deceitful looking, acting devil. And 74 or 80 million people walk down his track regardless of what he does. 80 million people just loving this devil. And the rest of you don't love that devil, but you love your own devil. And why do I say devil? Because it does not do what God designed life to be about. And so if you're not working doing God's plan, you're doing the devil's plan. And so I call it all devil. I don't have to bite my tongue about that. Why? Because I advocate for peace. I advocate for prosperity. I advocate for freedom. I advocate for joy. I advocate for the fulfillment of dreams. Now, who amongst you would not want to experience and live a life like this? It only requires that you acknowledge that the power of life is that which created the earth, that which created you. That's the power. That's where we get our strength. That's where we get our guidance from. Not some man, whether he's black or white or woman, or whether he's an American or something else. No, my friends, those are, would you take on the responsibility of preserving the world? No, please. God does that. And in order for that to happen, you have to listen to God. It's a very simple matter. If you're listening to God, it's very simple. Take yourself out of it and be, and you will see. I got to go now, ladies and gentlemen. The sweat is coming down, and I'm getting an audience, so I want to thank you again. Eddie Marcus, say, until next time.